Welcome into another edition of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm Tim McMaster. Taking his cuts in the cage today, we have Skip Schumaker of the Cincinnati Reds. First off, Skip, thanks a lot for taking some cuts in the Chatting Cage.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right, fans, you know how this works. You can use the hashtag Chatting Cage to get your questions in via Twitter, or press that red button at the bottom of your screen. Get in line, and you can actually ask your questions on the air live of Skip Schumaker. We're going to start with Twitter, Skip, and Redlegs100 wants to know, what's the best thing about Reds fans?
How passionate they are. You know, I got to play in St. Louis for a number of years, and, some of the best fans in the world there, and the Reds fans are just as passionate, and they deserve a winner. And unfortunately, this year we weren't able to do it, but they deserve a winning team, and I think they're on their way with all the trades and young guys coming up. And so the passion, I think, is the best way to put it.
And it's interesting you mentioned St. Louis and playing there, because obviously those fan bases are both very passionate and don't like each other's teams very much. But let's stick with a similar theme here, Skip. Staying with Twitter, Y1 Ohio wants to know, what do you like most about playing in Cincinnati? And I guess I'll add, other than the fans.
Yeah, the fans are great. It's always a packed house, it seems like. I really like the teammates here, and from the front office down, everyone's been great. I really like the people in Cincinnati, just the lifestyle, the morals, the values. They're just down to earth, and a little bit different than the Orange County lifestyle that I'm used to back home in California. So it's a great place to raise a family, and but the staff and the players are the best thing about the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, certainly a great ballpark. You playing out there in Cincinnati as well. Great American ballpark. We have a fan ready to go here. If you can just tell us your name, where you're from, and go ahead with your question for Skip.
Hey, Skip. My name's Jake Geringer. I'm actually from Jamestown, Ohio, not too far from Dayton. And I've gone to Reds games ever since I was a kid. The last time I actually talked to a Red, I was probably 10 years ago, Josh Hamilton.
Awesome.
My question, I wanted to know what's your favorite part about being with the organization, and whether actually you prefer being infield or outfield, because I've seen you in left, I've seen you at second, seen you at short. What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is being in the big leagues. So whatever they ask me to do, I'll do. It can't get any better than playing in the major leagues. I played in the outfield and started, center field in the World Series. I started second base in the playoffs. I'm more natural in the outfield. Second base is still, a little bit new to me. I transitioned there after playing 3 or 4 years in the big leagues in the outfield. In 2009, Tony La Russa asked me to move there in 2009, and it's been an adjustment ever since. So I think I'm more comfortable in the outfield than the infield still.
Great stuff, and certainly it helps any manager to know that they can put you in all those different positions. We're going to go back to Twitter here, Skip, and NWeb16 says, hey, Skip, what's your mindset and approach when trying to get a hit?
Well, I don't think there's anything more difficult than getting a hit in any sport. Hitting a baseball, throwing 95 miles an hour, and nowadays they're 22 years old, throwing cutters, and you name it up there. It's very difficult. Hardest thing to do in any sport. My mindset is to be, the most bad blank guy up there. And what I mean by that is, if I don't believe I can get a hit, then I'm not going to do it. So I have to be the most confident person up there. I almost have to act like I'm Mike Trout or Albert Pujols stepping into the box. And as soon as you get a negative thought in your head, you won't do anything good. So I try to believe that I'm bigger than what I am and stronger than what I am, and hopefully get that hit.
Yeah, hitting a round ball with a round bat, certainly one of the toughest things to do in all of sports. All right, we have a fan we're getting ready to welcome in here. If you can just tell us your name, where you're from, go ahead with your question for Skip Schumaker.
Hey, Skip, this is Tim from Louisville, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Skyline chili.
What's up, Tim? That chili's dangerous, man, because you can get it at any time at night or during the day, and so far it's been okay with my stomach, which is great. So I was a little nervous about it at the beginning, but it's a dangerous thing because it's open, I think, till 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's one thing that I'm definitely going to miss about Cincinnati when I leave.
Yeah, and you can get it at the ballpark, I believe, as well. So certainly readily available, the Skyline Chili out there in Cincinnati. All right, now, Skip, it's time for our EDJ question of the day. According to your bio, your name is Jared, so where did the name Skip come from?
Yeah, back when I was in T-ball, there was 3 Jareds on my baseball team, on my T-ball team, and I was pretty athletic growing up, but I couldn't skip for whatever reason, and my dad thought it'd be funny if he'd nickname me Skip, and during that T-ball season, and it just kind of stuck, and now I'm Skip, and only my mom calls me Jared, and I can skip now. I'll tell you, I'm not going to show you, but I can definitely skip now, and so that's how it came about.
That's good stuff. Always love to hear the story behind the nickname. We're going to go back to Twitter now, and Liner643 wants to know, what's your favorite minor league memory?
Favorite minor league memory was winning the AA championship. I was fortunate enough to play for Mark DeJean, who was the bench coach for Tony La Russa during the McGuire days when he went and hit 70-plus homers. And Mark DeJean, he taught me how to play the game and play the game right. And I think it's so crucial for these young kids in the minor leagues to have a guy like Mark DeJean to prepare you for the big leagues. And that year we won it all, and it was just a great experience in AA.
All right, we're going to stick with Twitter, but get a little bit away from baseball here, Skip. Cincy Edge wants to know, what was the first car that you ever drove?
69 Dodge Duster. My dad and my parents wanted me to learn about cars, so it was a $900 baby blue Dodge Duster, and we bought when I was 15 years old. And we rebuilt the engine. I learned how to went to the junkyard and bought all the parts inside the car, and it was a really cool experience. And we sold it for $3,000 or $4,000, I think, when I went to college. But it didn't have power steering, power brakes, power windows, nothing. But it was heavy, didn't go fast. But it was really cool, and I got to learn about cars, which doesn't do anything for me nowadays because everything's so computer-based. But it was I have a love for old school cars now.
That is outstanding. To get a little bit away from baseball into another sport, Skip, I know that you're a part of Big League Impact. It's actually a way for fans to get involved with fantasy football, but with some baseball players. Adam Wainwright started this whole thing, I think, in St. Louis. Can you explain what this is all about and what your role is for it in Cincinnati?
Yeah, Tuesday, August 25th, we're having a fantasy football draft where fans can participate and play with players like Todd Frazier, Brian Pena, Zach Cozart, myself, and all the money goes straight to charity. It goes to bigleagueimpact.org, which helps give water to people in Haiti. 25% goes to the Reds Community Fund, which helps kids around the community, and 25% goes to the charity I'm a part of, which helps kids fighting cancer, which is the Jesse Reese Foundation. And I don't know of a better person than Adam Wainwright in the world, and for him to think up of this was amazing. We got around $500,000 last year, all of it going towards charity, subtracting a little bit of the cost to hold the event. This year we're hoping to at least double that. And once again, it's a blast because you get to interact with fans. As much as they talk smack to us during the games, we get to talk smack back to them all off season, which is a lot of fun to do.
How seriously do you take your fantasy football drafting?
More serious than the game tonight. No, I'm a huge fantasy football fan. I love football. I'm in 4 leagues. My wife wants to kill me because I'm in so many leagues and it takes up most of my time. But I love it so much, and it's a blast to do in the off season.
This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Skip Schumaker here. We're talking fantasy football. We're talking baseball. And we have another fan ready to go here with a question. Fan, if you just tell us your name, where you're from, and go ahead with your question for Skip.
Hi, my name's Adine Fogel. I'm from Stamford, Connecticut. And I was wondering what your reaction was when you saw a card of you with a squirrel on it.
The squirrel, you said?
Yeah, the rally squirrel,
the card?
I think. Yep.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for the question. Yeah, that's the first baseball card ever without a face on it. And so when I got my baseball card that year, it had my shoes and a squirrel running between my legs. And, you got to be known for something. I guess I'm the squirrel guy. But that's is a pretty neat thing that happened in St. Louis at the time, and it was against Roy Oswald. I remember the at bat, and I'll remember it to the day I die. It was a really cool feeling that the rally squirrel was part of that run that we went on and ended up winning the World Series. So it's only cool because we won the World Series. If that squirrel went between my legs and we lost, I mean, I would hunt that squirrel down.
Yeah, these rally squirrel that took St. Louis by storm, that's for sure. All right, we're going to go back to Twitter here, Skip. And S. Estridge 100 wants to know, says she has 2 girls, and they each have a question. Emma wants to know who picks your at-bat music, and Rachel wants to know what your favorite movie is.
Okay. Luke, I'm a big country fan, and my kids are 7 and 5, Brody and Presley. They get to pick my song. So they're big fans of Luke Bryan, and I'm okay with that. I think he's fantastic. So they are big fans of him, so they picked Play It Again this year. And the next question was my favorite movie. Gosh, I just saw Straight Outta Compton. That was a really good movie. That's not my favorite movie, but that's what's on my mind right now. But I think that, gosh, I like funny comedies and Wedding Crashers. Anything with Will Ferrell is, right up my alley.
All right, great stuff. Skip, we're out of time, but thank you so much for stepping into the chatting cage.
All right, thanks for having me on.
That'll do it for another edition of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Tune in again next time.